Hi everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the first installment of a new series I'm going to be doing, which is Wax Warm-Up Wednesday. And I'm going to focus on a given vendor each week and talk a little bit about that vendor and then talk about the wax I've been melting. So each week I'm focusing on a certain vendor as I melt through my stash, and I'd like to share some of my thoughts on that vendor with you. So this week I'm going to talk about Destination Wax, which is one of my favorite vendors. The owner is Rebecca, and I find her wax to have a certain elegance. It's reflected in something as classic as her label, which has a compass on it. And a lot of her samplers reflect different places in the world. So it's a sense of traveling and experiencing scents from all around the world. There's more to her wax than that, but I think that's the original essence of her aesthetic. She offers a wide variety of scents. To me, she blends well in all the scent categories, from fresh to bakery to earthy to aquatic to laundry to really you name it. And I have not had scents from her that I haven't enjoyed. I don't love every single one, but on the whole, I greatly enjoy her wax. And I find it to have very consistent performance in my home. Medium high to high throw. It is a Parasoy wax, and I usually let it cure for 1 to 2 months. I think she's recommending 2 to 4 weeks. And I always get a good throw. I have not had an issue with Destination Wax at all. Beautiful strength and throw. So Rebecca's business model is that from the 1st to the 3rd of each month, she has ready to ship on her website. So she'll announce the scents usually on her Facebook group and also on Instagram, even on the website for a few days before. And then the website will open, and you jump on there and there's ready to ship in a number of different forms. And I'll talk about those different forms. So it is usually well attended, and then as things sell out, it says that. It isn't as Hunger Games as a lot of other vendors, but you do need, if there's a certain scent, especially in some of the more specific shapes that you're interested in, you do have to jump on there and be swift about it. So she also has customs, and you have to get on a wait list for that. That is through her Facebook group, or I don't have Facebook, so I wrote to her. She answered me right away, and she put me on her wait list because I don't have Facebook, and then she'll email you when your turn comes around. She also does pre-order, and sometimes that'll be grouped with a ready to ship. So certain things may have pre-order, and she'll accept orders up to her capacity, what she thinks she can fulfill. So a number of different ways that you can order, but I love that the 1st to the 3rd of pretty much every month, you can count on ready to ship being available. She has a number of different formats, and I want to show you some of those. So she has blocks and cakes. So there's 4 blocks in here, and each of those is about an ounce, and you can easily pop that in a warmer. And these are just so pretty. I don't know how well this is focusing, but let me take one of these out to show you. The elegance of her wax is just beautiful. So very pretty. And I know we say, yes, it's wax, it's going to be melted, but I enjoy that the visual component is also pleasing. I love to see pretty shapes and pretty embeds and pretty, the way this has been molded. It's very beautiful. She also does 6, now there's only 4, 6 shapes to a bag. And these are about, I would say, 1/2 to 3/4 of an ounce each. And pop those in the melter. And these are, again, in a variety of different scents. She also does foil pans, so small loaves. These are not tiny loaves, and they're also not the massive, like 18 ounce. This is probably 8 ounces. I could be wrong. And it's a nice size. I don't feel overwhelmed by these loaves. It's a nice amount of wax. She also does some specialty things. So for example, her pink sari, this is pink sugar and patchouli, and she does a variety of other blends with this. But look how beautiful. These are paisleys. So these pink paisleys, pink sari paisleys, those usually sell out pretty quickly. And then she does lavender owls. So here's these owls. I think these are about 3 ounces, and they come in a variety. So this one is lavender sweet basil. I usually get 5 or 6 of these every couple of months, maybe every 3 months. This one is lavender Provence, which is a French herbal lavender. Whoops, hold still, fella. They smell divine. I love lavender, so if you love lavender, this is the place to go. And here we have lavender Tassie, also in a little bit deeper purple. And that's quite a stronger Tasmanian type lavender, herbal, clean, very strong. She does lavender coconut, lavender twilight, the lush scent. She does lavender sugar cookie, so a number of different lavenders. And then she also does scent shot cups, so these 2 ounce cups. And these are listed alphabetically, and usually they are abundant each month that you can get a number of different scents. So I am going to let me also tell you about her samplers. So she does samplers as well, and she'll do like a destination sometimes. So it'll say destination Philippines. So then you can count on getting a number of scents that are typical of the Philippines. So you might get a certain flower from the Philippines, you might get something about a certain food or flan or other, I don't know, I don't recall what all was in that one, but it was all representative of the Philippines. Or destination France, and she'll have the lavender Provence, or she'll have something to remind you of the Eiffel Tower, or something about espresso coffee. So it's really quite classy, and you feel like you're traveling to somewhere else and experiencing the scents of that area. She also has samplers with scent types. So she did herb garden sampler last year, different herbs. There was apple sage, apple rosemary, other things in there that I loved that one because I like herbal scents. And then she did bakery blenders last year. There was a woods sampler, there was a man cave sampler. So a lot of different varieties of groupings of scents to enjoy. And one sampler I would really recommend, and it isn't available every month. She has different samplers different months. But there's one, if you're new to Destination Wax, called First Flight. And again, with the whole travel motif. But that one you can get either 10, 15, or 20 scent shot cups of her best sellers. And I did that. I got, I believe, the 15. And it was just great because it was a great introduction to her scents. And it was a way that I got to know some of her different varieties and find out for myself if I wanted to order more, which I did. So let me go ahead and show you some of the things I've been melting, and then I'll wrap it up. So I'm going to take my glasses off so I can read these, because I'm not 20 years old anymore. So first, I'm working my way through a few loaves. So this one is wedding cake. So a beautiful pink wax, and I'm about halfway through this one. So this is vanilla cake with thick white frosting and a thin layer of strawberry jam, not buttery. So indeed, this is like a white cake with a thin layer of strawberry jam, and everyone's wedding cake should smell like this. It is beautiful, not buttery. I had a great medium-high throw, and I used a Yankee centerpiece melter for this. But I have also used hot plate, like Ashland type warmers, and I get a great throw from either of those types. So I have no issue really in any melter with Rebecca's wax. Next up, from the more herbal, or the more green world, this is kale salad. I love this, a favorite of mine. So it's very green and peppery. And this one is green kale, green apple, red currant, pineapple, and coriander. Crisp, fresh, and a bit peppery. So that says it all. Very green, very refreshing. I used this because I was tired of the heavy bakery from the Christmas season that we've just come out of. There were a lot of heavy scents in the house, a lot of fir tree scents, and I just wanted something very refreshing and green. So I melted this throughout the house, and it woke me right up and cleansed my palate. So that's kale salad right there. I have also been melting strawberry seeds. So this is one of her best sellers, and it is described as sweet and zesty strawberry, and that says it all. It's a very authentic but sweetened strawberry. So it's as if you bit into the strawberry and you can feel those tiny seeds in your mouth, and perhaps you had steeped it in a bit of sugar, and it was just extra sweet and juicy and delicious. So I love this, and I love strawberry scents, and to me this is really my favorite strawberry scent from any vendor. It is beautiful. So that's strawberry seeds. I melted 4 of the little blocks in blackjack, and this is black chamomile brightened up with apple, clary sage, and extra chamomile. So this was a high throw, and it lasted forever. It was very strong, a little bit floral, a little bit perfumey, and again, great contrast to the heavy scents of the holiday season. So that was blackjack. I enjoyed that very much, and I would buy that again. Then I have a number of scent shot cups that I've been melting. So right now in the living room is Candy Cane Extra. And wow, this is such a pure and penetrating mint. Fresh peppermint and spearmint, sweet strawberries and vanilla, extra minty. The strawberry and the vanilla are very much in the background, but the peppermint and the candy cane and the spearmint, wow, it's strong. This is not overly sweet, and it just it penetrates the house. Excellent throw. So high plus throw. I have this in both a Yankee centerpiece and in a Scentsy, my enchanted pumpkin warmer, which is, you know, sometimes as much as I love my Scentsy warmers, they don't always throw as well as some of the others. No kidding, the whole house is full of Candy Cane Extra today. This has tremendous strength and throw. Yesterday, in the back of the house, in one of the bedrooms, I had red pear, and it carried through the whole back of the house. Very juicy, ripe red pear, richer than a Bartlett pear and a yellow pear. So it's, you know, when you have a red pear and you just bitten into it and the juice is running everywhere, that is the sensation I had from this. Very sweet and delicious and very authentic, like you had just picked it. 2 days ago, I melted this one, which is Scottish Hearth. Let me tell you, if you like smoky scents, this is the smoky scent to end all smoky scents. It's like you're sitting in front of the fire, and the wood has really been seasoning a long time. It's been waiting to be burned. This isn't a tree you just cut down. This wood is older wood. It's been sitting around. So old world hearth fire of fresh applewood boughs tossed onto burning logs of white birch. This is gorgeous, but you must like smoky scents. This is very deep and smoky, like I said, older wood. Gorgeous. Scottish Hearth. Pink Sari. So today in the back of the house I have Pink Sari. And again, this is the same scent that you would get in that beautiful paisley shape. So it's pink sugar blender mixed with essential patchouli oil. It's just lovely. You must like patchouli, but it's not patchouli like, not in a head shop, you know. It's the comforting, earthy patchouli sweetened by the pink sugar. So gorgeous, and that's why this is one of her best sellers. It is absolutely beautiful. Today in our covered porch, which is enclosed, and I enjoy it all year long, and usually I do my empties in the covered porch, is vanilla root beer. So I love root beer scents, and I had always said my favorite root beer was a candle from Homeworks. And Ramona said, yes, that is great. And there's another good one you need to try, which is Destination Wax. And she wasn't kidding, because this is gorgeous. And it is authentic. I feel like I'm drinking that root beer, and that ice cream is it's so creamy and delicious. So it's described as lightly spiced fizzy root beer with vanilla. And yes, it's like a root beer float. Absolutely gorgeous and very strong, but not to where it's killing you with the anise note. It's strong and beautiful, and I will buy that again and again. From the fresher part of the world, this was Arctic Seacoast. So, I enjoyed this too. So I had this in the bedroom maybe 2 days ago, and this is a crisp ocean scent with fresh green seaweed and notes of ozone and cologne. Now, don't let that seaweed throw you. When we were first married, we lived in Japan, and we lived near a little fishing village, and there was always seaweed on the shore there, and it just had that kind of peppery green note, and I remember that. So when I smelled this, I thought, wow, it takes me back to Japan. So I enjoyed this very much. It was very fresh and ozonic and watery and seaweedy and delicious. So that was Arctic Seacoast right there. And that is everything I've been melting from Destination Wax this week. So in closing, this is one of my favorite vendors. I always get consistent throw and strength from Rebecca's Wax. As you can see, I have a lot of different wax from Destination Wax. I have an entire drawer of wax from her, but I do go through it because I melt this frequently, and I enjoy her wax very much. I think she has a very classy aesthetic, and again, her wax helps to transport me to places that I may have traveled to or I would love to travel to. And especially these days with our pandemic, and we can't really travel too much right now. It's a bit of escapism and joy that comes into our life. So beautiful wax, great quality, great customer service, and I encourage you to try. So that's Destination Wax. So thank you for listening, and next week we'll visit another vendor, and I hope you all have a great week and continue to be safe and hug your families. Thanks for listening. Till next time, bye for now.